And so next, Purna, where are you? I have my so many speakers here. There you are. I have to scroll over. So while many of our speakers are nice, Purna might get the award for being the nicest of them all. That just might be her special distinction. Purna, you've still muted yourself, so there you go.
My
So
husband will
Purna's,
not agree with your nice comment.
I heard Aaron definitely said yes. I mean, I can clearly see many speakers going, yep, yeah, see, look at Nava, right? So, like, yeah, Nava's a nice person. No offense, Nava, but Purna's probably nicer.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
right. So, so anyway, right? See, there's Melissa. All right, we have a poll right now, right? You're gonna win this poll. You may vote against you, you'd be the only one. So anyway, to continue our conversation before we move into our roundtable later, Purna from Microsoft, although she speaks with years of wisdom beyond just Microsoft, is going to get into some DSA page feeds, audiences, and so forth. So you don't want to hear me. I'll go on mute. Purna, please share your screen and let's have some more fun discussion.
Awesome. All right. Can you all see my screen? Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry. I use Teams all the time, so forgive me. But hi, everyone. I'm Purna. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here, especially in the midst of all that is going on. The fact that you're here with all of us at PSA, trying to focus on building your own skills is actually super commendable. So a huge round of applause for yourselves. Please pat yourself on the back. Um, Now, you must have heard a little bit on day one from my colleagues Christy and Joe, where they were talking about just how much search is evolving during this pandemic. And that's something that we're seeing anyway, right? Any PPC, you've noticed that every month there's a ton of brand new queries that come in. For example, on the big network, 20% of all of our searches every day are brand new, never seen before. Google, on the other hand, reports that 15% of their searches every month are brand new. This is a whole bunch of evolving searches in a regular time period. If we take this time of pandemic, that's just leading to even more and more and more new unexpected queries that keep coming up. Search is on the rise. People are spending much more time at home consuming media. And of course, while you can expect things like grocery delivery or home fitness to go up, every vertical, I'm telling you, every vertical has a whole bunch of unexpected stuff. I was looking at retail and I saw that there's a huge rise in hobbies. Right? Hobbies, which was previously down, is now going up in the number of new searches and queries. Or if I looked at automotive, we're seeing not just an increase in people looking for like affordable cars or cheap cars. We're seeing people trying to buy cars in a whole new way. They want to buy cars online. So it is still nascent, but it is still happening. Or, of course, everybody is a bread baker, right? My husband right now has become like the sourdough master at the same time as I'm trying to do no carb. Right. Can that be grounds for divorce, guys? Let me know. We're also all people are looking at buying more freezers or fridges to stock up on food. Or now that we're stuck at home more, we want to redecorate or Marie Kondo or look at buying more furniture. There's tons of new trends. There's tons of new emerging queries in every vertical. If you wanted to go and drill down into yours, into your geo region as well, you could go to the link that you see right there on your screen, and Microsoft shares a ton of different trends that we're seeing. But that's why I really wanted to choose DSA as my topic for today, because I think that is most applicable to you. Because DSA can help you not just capture those emerging queries, but also show up with a more relevant ad for that. As most of you know, the secret power of DSA is that it can really go and crawl the website to identify themes So it can show up for ads for even queries that we may not have even thought about. So in that way, it can help you mine and show up for new and emerging keyword trends, as well as for the long tail. And just to share some numbers, what we see behind the scenes at Microsoft Advertising, if we look at the performance of DSA, we found that not only does it help decrease CPC, but there's also, it shows an over 10% increase in net new click volume. So net new means you wouldn't have gotten this otherwise with your regular keywords. So let's keep that in mind, and that's why DSA is so powerful. But I understand we also want to be cautious with it at this time. Aaron talked about that earlier. So what I want to share with you today are just like two of my absolute favorite things to do with DSA to not just help grow ROAS, but also help you protect yourself as well. The first one, page feeds. Right? Any fans of page feeds here? Like put it in the comment chats right there. I would love to like chat with my fellow page feed nerds. If any of you have not touched page feeds yet, but I've always been like, I run DSA, but it's not worked that great for me. I don't know what else I can do. The answer? Test page feeds. Why? Because, hey, they really help reduce the friction of managing all of your DSA campaigns by enabling you to upload just a simple spreadsheet of just all the URLs you want to target versus having to create individual auto targets for each URL. Plus, they can also help give you a small conversion rate boost as well. In our data, for example, we found that B2B, they can see about a 3% conversion rate increase when they've enabled page feeds. B2C, about a 1%. Again, I'll take any percent, so why not? But again, page feeds are not just for conversion. They can help you in lots of different ways. And if you're using them on Google already, don't forget, import them into your Microsoft advertising account. It's a very simple import. I want to share three like lesser known or lesser talked about reasons why DSAs are, why page feeds are so important for DSAs. The first thing is they can really help you keep your high priority URLs fresh, because every time you upload or update a page feed, all the pages in that feed get automatically crawled. Whereas just with standard DSA, the pages in the domain are just crawled at like a periodic basis. So if you want to make sure that you want to match the pages, keep up with any content changes or headlines accurate, page feeds are really helpful to control the crawling. Plus, I know a lot of advertisers will no index or no crawl their PPC landing pages because they don't want to have duplicate issues with the main website. So now, traditionally, if you put that on there, like a no index or no crawl, the search engine is not going to crawl them. But if you put it in a page feed, then that landing page, it gives a search engine permission to go and crawl that page, even though it says no index or no crawl. Again, let me be clear about this. It only will crawl this for DSA purposes. It's not going to be showing up in organic listings or anywhere else, but it will simply be seen in the page feed as permission to crawl that page so it can access it for your DSA needs. And then, of course, it also helps you group your auto targets into things that can't be easily grouped. For example, if I was doing auto targets, I'd probably do it based on URL or page content. Right? So maybe if I wanted to do everything that's about red shoes, I would put all of them together. But perhaps some red shoes are much more profitable than other red shoes. So if I could put them in a page feed, I could create custom labels based on things that are just less obvious, like this is high margin product, or these are my sale products. That will give me different information that I can use for bidding and targeting. So definitely keep these in mind. They not only help reduce the friction, but they give you these additional superpowers. Whenever I've talked to some advertisers, sometimes they're like, oh, but Purna, it's so complicated, like feeds. I'm not that good with feeds. I assure you, they are not as complicated as you might think. It's a simple spreadsheet. It really only needs one column, which is your list of URLs. The second column, which is custom label, is optional, and you can use it just to create groupings, just as if you were trying to do like your custom tags and product feeds, for example. And this is what it could look like. Here's just an example of a dummy page feed. Now, some of you sharp-eyed ones might have been like, wait, there's the third column. What is that? That is, I'm so excited to share with you. It's a new beta that we have at Microsoft Advertising. It is all about dynamic search ads, but with static headlines. Even though it's a closed beta, it's available to all advertisers who are running DSAs across the globe. And it is unique to Microsoft Advertising. No one else has it. And really what it does is, let's say if you have concerns from your legal team about your COVID-19 messaging, or if you're in a vertical that is much more highly regulated, let's say like pharma or financial services, for example, you could still go ahead and take advantage of DSAs and to use that discovery power of them while still maintaining control over your ad title and your ad copy. So this way, it's a really great workaround. So again, like Aaron said earlier, he made an excellent point, like things are changing. You want to try to control some of the messaging so you can protect your brand, especially at this time. If that's something you want to do, take a look at static headlines. Now, as every good infomercial says, but wait, there's more. I have a special tip for retailers. Now, hopefully I have some retailers here with me tuning in. Did you know, you guys, you can use your shopping feed to create for DSAs as well? As a retail client, you already have a lot of product pages, and these pages have like tons and tons of content on them already. So it's a great place to start if you're looking to scale, if you're looking to not have to, recreate the wheel from scratch. Let me scale my own efforts. Take your shopping feed. Here's how it works. Pull out from your existing product feed just the product page URLs, and you can remove everything else from the feed if you want. If you're using custom labels, keep those in. And then this feed information can be used as your page feed file for DSA. There we go, done. And remember, with the custom labels, you can flag high value products or high margin products or low inventory products, for example, via the custom labels. So that will help you when you're thinking about your targeting and your bid months. Why do both? Why do the shopping and the DSA text ad? You want to take more space on the SERPs, right? You want to get more coverage to help you overcome any gaps between queries you might be matching to with your product listing ads versus the ones you're matching with in text. And the targets work the same as shopping. So if there are any gaps, then you can plug those in with DSAs as well. And if you are running any kind of merchant promotions, you can also leverage your merchant promotion feed to help create a DSA page feed based on the product URLs that are on sale for the merchant. And then you can adjust your bidding accordingly. So this way, if you know you're focusing on like this set of products for your sale, then we can make sure that we can even get extra coverage through the DSAs and help DSAs with targeting and bidding accordingly. Super smart, right? I hope you try it. And if you try it, like tweet me and let me know how it works for you. And don't forget to do hashtag PSAC20 as well. All right, my second tip. Now that you have your DSA all set up with all your best practices, like your page feeds, etc., there's another really smart way that you can use audiences. Now, your DSA campaigns, just like any campaigns, can show to many different types of people, many different types of audiences. How can I differentiate my bidding strategy based on the user's likelihood to convert? Well, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. The first step, you want to think about creating just a regular plain old DSA campaign. No audiences, nothing. Just create your desired auto targets or page feeds and keep it ready. Then step 2, you want to duplicate that campaign. So mirror exactly the same structure, but you're going to have this be target and bid for custom, for first party audiences. Now, why am I hitting custom first? Because it is your own first party data, so that can be often really, really more powerful. If you don't have custom audiences, you're not able to set them up, that's okay. You can use in-market or remarketing or similar or lookalike or anything that you like. Think about an important audience for you. So in my example, for my second campaign, I did custom audiences. Then in step 3, I duplicated that campaign once again, and I did a target and bid, but this time for in-market audiences. And then the key thing to remember, the tip that makes this work so well, is to make sure you're using audience exclusions. So here's what they all 3 look like. So with audience 1, for my campaign number 1, which had no audiences in it, I want to make sure I'm excluding all of the audiences that I'm using in my second and my third campaign. For my second campaign with custom, I'm going to exclude all of the in-market audiences or any audience that I used in my third campaign. And then for my third campaign, I'm going to make sure I exclude all the audiences I used in my second. So for my in-market DSA campaign, I excluded my custom audiences. Right? Are you with me so far, everyone? This helps you, again, what this is helping you do is helping you land and adjust bidding based on people's likelihood to convert. Different audiences will perform differently for you, as you see in your regular campaign. But if you tie this on with DSA, you have the additional advantage of the discovery, and then you can put maybe different negative keywords for each of them as well. We tested this out with a really large big box retail client, and I wanted to share with you some of the initial blinded results. So this advertiser was able to achieve very similar ROAS levels as the non-DSA campaigns, including brand. And what we noticed was, if you look at the ROAS numbers, the no audience campaign had an average ROAS of $20 almost, whereas in-market had one of almost $30, and the custom one had like almost 22. So you could see by layering and separating them out, I could then adjust my bids, I can adjust my budget and let each of them go and work their magic. Also, very interestingly, I know you all are dealing with this as well, where clients are either reducing budget or trying to turn off campaigns. This client also was considering doing that. So they turned down volume on a lot of the other campaigns, but what they did was they left these DSA campaigns running because of how efficiently they performed. So I think that pretty much says how successful they were. And remember, we only use custom and in-market here because it's what worked well for this client, but you could pick any of your audience campaigns, so standard remarketing, similar audiences, whatever works for you. Just remember, it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Audiences are your lever that allow you to bid according to their likelihood of purchase. You can just mimic your existing campaign structure as well, and then just put in these audiences separately. And also use it to mine search terms throughout that you can move to other campaigns as well. Right? Super simple, still super effective, and try to do these little changes now to help boost your ROAS. Before I wrap up, I just want to give you 2 quick final tips. The first one is if you are importing your DSA campaigns from Google into Microsoft, I wanted to make sure you're aware that while Google Ads supports the creation of mixed mode campaigns, Microsoft Advertising doesn't. So when we import your mixed mode campaigns from Google Ads, they get imported as dynamic search ad campaigns by default. So that means all your text ads and your keywords are going to be dropped. You also have the option to specify to use the import search and DSA as search campaigns to override that default, or you can just do a workaround. If you so fancy, you could use your bulk sheets of Google data and import them and upload them into your Microsoft advertising to help you work around that mixed mode campaign thing. The second thing, and the last thing, is that you will, or most likely will, experience a wrap-up period. It can take anywhere from 2 to 4 days to start seeing impressions for your new DSE campaign. And like any other machine learning automation functionality, DSA is not going to be at its best in the first couple of weeks. It's a machine-based learning tool. It's just going to keep getting better over time. So just stick with it and maybe set expectations for clients or stakeholders as well. So, you know, they're not breathing down your neck and like the end of week one being like, what's going on? Where's my ROAS? So that's good to know. Let's recap. Remember, test page feeds to help give conversions a boost. Layer audiences strategically to help boost your ROAS. And then be mindful of mixed mode campaigns when importing from Google Ads. So with that, I say a huge thank you once again for having me and for being here to listen.
Brad, the microphone.
Brad, you're muted.
The mic.
I'm muted. There we go. Hey, I'm back now. So what happens when you have I usually mute myself here, not in software. You know, it's nice having that, but I forget. So, one, David will let us know about everyone who's asked for presentations. Evidently, Purna, and I know Purna will make it available if David can't, which David probably will. They want your step-by-step. Go figure. Of course they do. Two, why does DSA lead to lower CPCs? You made a statement. You got to back it up now.
I will double check as to why. Those are just the data that we have seen. So it's a good question. I will go back and check with my product team, and I'll let you know right after on Twitter.
Okay, because it could just be, hey, it's more it's always relevant page, it's good quality score, then you know whatever happens to be there.
I know, but I would be guessing, and then I would get that would not be confirmation. So I will get you confirmation.
Totally understood. So, all right, everyone, let's give our clap for Purna. Yay! All right.